Clear out to the wall, clear out to the wall. Good job, guys, good job.
For more information on pit stops, log on to ESPN.com. Search word know-how. Crew camera for the Jack man for Jeff Gordon. Jeff Cookie Cook out of Mallard Creek, North Carolina. Got to heave that big 24 car in the air with that jack. Gets it around to the left side. Gets the jack down and the car in the air. Great pit work. Jeff Gordon back out on the racetrack. 5 drivers trying to work their way into the top 12 here in the chase of the Nextel Cup. The race of the chase winding down. It all begins tonight here in Bristol, Tennessee. In fact, it only has 125 laps tonight here in Bristol, Tennessee, as we head to California and in Richmond, and the race to the chase will be over. A lot of anxious drivers and nervous people. This guy's not too anxious. Carl Edwards sitting out front right now for the 4th time tonight. The 99 car being shown as the leader.
I tell you, the guy I'm really concerned about for himself right now, Jerry, is the 29 car, Kevin Harvick. He's all the way down to 12th in the points right now. He took a huge hit, and it all goes back to Watkins Glen with the problem he had there. Lost a lot of points, but now his car's not handling good tonight, and he is in trouble right now. He's tied for 13th right now with Dale Earnhardt Jr. No, he's not tied. I'm sorry. He's in 12th, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 13th behind him. So Kevin's the one in trouble right now.
There's Kevin Harvick in 12th. He finished 36th at Watkins Glen. We showed you the run-in with Juan Pablo Montoya. That cost him a couple of spots. And now with this run tonight, with the struggles tonight, Andy, he is down there toward the back in 12th position. Restart in Bristol, Tennessee. Edwards will lead him down. Tony Stewart getting back in the hunt here with the 20 car. They made some adjustments on that pit stop, and now he's going to maybe a factor here in the final laps. He said he was way too tight, Mike, prior to that stop.
And Doc, they made a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment, and they feel like they've got a pretty good race car here for the stretch run. Greg Zipagnelli telling Tony Stewart just a while ago that we've got a tremendous car on long runs. The thing we really need to improve on is the first 4 or 5 laps. They're having some difficulty taking off, but right now they're back in the hunt.
Tell you what, I was looking at some of these cars. They're really running low air pressures, and you can see the sidewalls on a lot of these cars flexing out, in particular the 16 car, Greg Biffle. He's got a pretty good handling car throughout the night. They're definitely trying something, but Tony Stewart's got a good run, and he's getting blocked right now by the Greg Biffle car.
Let's ride along with our Wrangler telemetry. Taking a look at Tony Stewart's car here. Watch the RPM gauge and the miles per hour here on a half-mile racetrack.
$8,900 RPMs out of these engines we're seeing right now. When they qualify, probably close to about 9,500 RPMs and full speed. And qualifying, you lose how much, Andy, in these races, you think?
Well, it looks like they're dropping down quite a bit, but they can turn about 9,500 RPMs. But these cars are running a lot slower now in race trim than they were in qualifying trim.
43 of Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr. They battle for the 6th position. As Labonte has taken that spot away from Earnhardt Jr. Now sets this. That's Bobby Labonte having a really good run here tonight.
Yeah, Bobby's being solid as a rock throughout the night. He hasn't had any problem at all. It's been pretty clean and good runs throughout the night.
Now, a moment ago, the 8 car got a little bit of tap from behind by the 12 car, and it cost him. Whoa, he just managed to hang on, but that could have been very costly. That's bump and run, I guess, and that allowed the 43 car to make the move by.
Yeah, that was a close call for the 8 car.
Well, they run up and all.
If he'd hit that wall.
They run up in all that traffic, and looks like the 8 car just got held up, and the 12 car, he was just still in the throttle and got him in a quarter panel. But hey, you're right, that could have been big because he had the rear end on that car hung out going at the wall.
This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Clint Boyer, the 07, being shown in 3rd. Kurt Busch, the 2 car, was 4th. You see Jeff Gordon in the 24 car.
Yeah, Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon are 1 lap down. You see Kurt Busch, he's the lead lap car.
For more on Jeff Gordon, let's check in with Dave.
Man, it's kind of one of those things that's hard to figure out on a short track like this, but Jeff Gordon was one of the later cars to pit, and he was top 10. So other cars, including leader Carl Edwards, hit it earlier and were running faster. So when the yellow came out for David Reagan's spin, Jeff had been trapped a lap down.
Okay, Jeff Gordon better be happy he's locked in a chase for the championship, because he's going on 3 bad races in a row right now. Bad luck. You look at Watkins Glen, wheel hopped the car, went off course, and last week spun off of turn 4. And now he's a lap down because of this unscheduled. It was a scheduled stop, but just bad luck on the stop with the caution flag coming out when it did.
You're speaking of the caution flag. It came out for the 4th time of day, and the reason it came out was because the 6th car of David Reagan had a problem with the shifter. He said it was popping out of gear.
Right here's the shift handle in the car. And you see it staying down in high gear. That's what these guys run in. They're running 4th gear. And Tim Brewer, can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening with this 6 car?
Yeah, what happened, Andy, when the thing popped out of gear, the driver, he gets on there and he said, hey, I got to have a bungee cord. But, Andy, as we learned at Junior Johnson's, the first thing you do is put some stuff in the car that the driver don't have to ask for. You simply reach over, get that bungee cord, put it on there, and keep on trucking. That's something that the driver can do himself. You know, you need to be aware of it, but still yet, it needs to be installed in the car. COT car, old car. That's just old school racing.
Yeah, that'll hold her in there, Tim.
For more information on gear shifts, log on to ESPN.com, search word Auto Tech. All this modern technology, we use a bungee cord to hold these race cars and these shifters in position.
Well, take a look at the shifter right there, how much it's vibrating. Let's ride along just a little bit longer, Andy, and look how hard that thing's vibrating. And it's probably just vibrating itself out of gear. The Roush cars, the 6 and the 17, are having these 2 problems. And now you see Carl Edwards with all this. Something's going on there, I would think.
He's got a high-speed vibration in the car, maybe in the drive shaft or maybe even in the transmission itself that's causing that vibration there.
Moving in on 100 laps to go here at Bristol, Tennessee. Carl Edwards being shown as the leader in the 99 car. Kane Boyer, Kurt Busch, and Earnhardt Jr. in the top 5. Back in Bristol, Tennessee, caution number 5 coming out on lap 395. The 6 car of David Reagan again. The car looping around down between turns 3 and 4.
Must have had some more problems with that transmission jumping out of gear.
From the 55 car on board for Michael Walker. Take a look at what happened up there in the 6 for Reagan.
The car just turned around, looked like for no reason.
Guys, I don't know, just bungee cords. The hook fell off or something.
The hook fell off the bungee. I tell you, that's not your day when the hook on a bungee cord flies off. I mean, you got Brewer showed us the bungee cord, but I think Tim probably meant that if you're going to use a bungee cord, it better be a good grade one. This looks like this bungee cord broke, and they're back in it, putting another one in right now.
While we are under caution for the 5th time, let's check in with our in-race reporter, Carl Edwards, who happens to be our leader.
Carl Edwards, Rusty Wallace, and ESPN. You got us?
Loud and clear, Rusty.
Carl, you're having a great night tonight. The car looks fantastic out there, high, low, all over the track. But, hey, where's your favorite lane out there? You've had enough now to figure out where you like to run at.
I don't know. It kind of depends on the run. It seems like at the beginning of the run you can run anywhere. And late in the run you can run anywhere. So, I don't know. Just listening to Bob read my lap times, and it seems like every once in a while I'll be fast on the bottom, and some laps I can be faster running up high. It's a pretty fun racetrack.
Carl, how do you like the car tomorrow here on this racetrack? What's the driver feedback's probably something everybody like to hear about this car.
Actually, this car drives pretty well here. I'm pretty impressed with it. Every time we go out, our cars tomorrow get better and better. So, I'm excited about it. I'm really enjoying it. I never thought I'd enjoy it this much. Not when we ran that first race. I was worried, but I feel good about it now.
All right, Carl. Thanks for talking to us, buddy.
Thanks, Rusty.
This is the 10th race of the year for the car of tomorrow. It'll run next at Richmond International Raceway. They will run a total of 16 events here in 2007. Under caution for the 5th time. If you're leading and you're bored, you just go up and say, "Oh, hello, Mr. Pace Car." Back in a moment. Just back to green flag racing here in Bristol, Tennessee. Less than 100 laps to go here in our 500-lap NASCAR Nextel Cup event presented by Pennzoil. Carl Edwards trying to pick up his second win of 2007. Tony Stewart, who has not been much of a factor most of the night because his car has been way too tight in the middle of the corner. They worked on that car. You heard our pit reporters Mike Massaro tell you they've got the car adjusted, and Stewart and the one car, Martin Truex, are trying to make their move toward the front.
Okay, another car that came in that last pit stop and put tires on was a 48 car, a Jimmy Johnson. And that's probably a pretty good move because he was back in an area where he could put tires in that thing, and he's working the top group pretty hard right now. And I got to believe these new tires are going to help him late in this run.
Got a huge break when they had that caution and they hadn't made their green flag pit stop, and he's making the most of it here.
It's hard to make do what he wants to do, Andy, because he's got the 22 car, Blaney in front of him. He just can't get that clean air. And now Juan Pablo Montoya pulls up in front of him, blocks him in there. And when you have new tires and you can't use it to your advantage because you're blocked in, it'll wear those tires down, and then you can't, then they're just not as sticky then.
Heavy traffic here. These guys that came in and took tires there just a moment ago. And in traffic, I mean, anything can happen. Watch the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson. 38, I'm sorry, behind him, that David Gilliland.
Robbie Gordon got in the back of David Gilliland in the 30 car, turned to 38, turned him dead sideways, but he held on. And Andy, these car tomorrows, I got to believe that wing is really working good on him because David had that car pretty sideways and still held on.
These cars are very forgiving, it seems like. In this race, this new surface here, too, I believe is very forgiving for these cars.
Well, when we talked to Carl Edwards, our inter-race reporter, just a little while ago, he was pretty impressed with the car. He said he likes driving it and pretty happy. Now, you heard Kyle Busch, when he won this year, hated the car. Didn't like it at all, even though he won.
Carl Edwards, our leader here, with just 90 laps to go in the 99 car. Edwards has led 4 times for 93 laps. And let's check this action back here. The 24 car, who was the Lucky Dog Award winner, he got back on the lead lap. Little pushing and shoving back here in the pack.
Just take a look at what just happened here. 66 gets in the back at a 38, gets him sideways again. He bounces off him, hits him again. Now Jeff Gordon almost gets a little bit of that. And Jeff picks the throttle up and drives around the 38. And he's got more momentum exiting the corner than David Gilliland does at the moment, so that helped out.
It's like David Gilliland's just getting pushed and shoved all over the racetrack.
Edwards, Kane in second spot, Boyer, Kurt Busch, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the 5th position. Let's listen to his radio.
Will you quit trying to get me to cheat out of my box and into my box? I ain't doing this ever, no matter what. So quit getting in my ear about it. That's just a big advantage. That's why I'm in your ear about it, because if you use it right, then that's how you get beat in and out on pit road a lot of times. So trying to get you to be aware of it, use it when you can. Yeah, well, if you got up your sleeve, you need to share it with everybody instead of yourself.
Well, the one thing about that, he's trying to get some more speed coming at the box and leaving the box. What Dale Jr. is worried about, if he does that, he might get a pit road speeding penalty. Now, and Tony Eury Jr. said if you use it right. But Andy, if you use it wrong,
well, you can get a speeding penalty if you use it wrong. But what Tony Eury Jr. saying is this is the way to make some time, because when you're inside your pit box, if that segment that your pit box is in, you can actually speed out of there until you get to the line, because they're only measuring between the segments. And so if your pit box is in between those segments, you can actually speed to the next one and then get on your pit road speed.
That is Tony Eury Jr., who's not only the crew chief but also Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s cousin, and they played together growing up. They've been together for their entire lives, so they can talk to each other like that very openly and very frankly.
Well, one thing the crew chief's job, one job of the crew chief is to find those loopholes and try to find any little way to get an advantage. And that's just a small advantage on pit road, but we're really talking about split seconds on pit road that can get you quite a few spots here.
And that 2 car and 8 car, that can't get away from each other. The battle of the beer cars, it continues here at Bristol.
These were the guys we were watching for that elusive 12th position, and right now the 2 car would be up in 11th. The 40 car of David Stremme, one of those guys that came in and took fresh tires here on lap 398. He just had a little brush with the outside concrete. Caution now being shown, the 6th car of David Reagan. His car loops down in turn 1, so Reagan brings out the caution again here, this time for the 6th time tonight.
They're going to have to work on the car this time. They've got